Friday's second video for you is first news story is from the Somali region of Ethiopia, where after Friday prayers, demonstrations have been seen. Protests have erupted. The slogans are being chanted against Somali regional president Mustafa Omar. And what we have learned is that there could be power struggle between Mustafa Omar and Adam Farah, newly elected vice chairman of Prosperity Party. Adam Farah is from City Zone, where these protests are being held, and the protests are being held in the wake of Afar Somali clashes. We have a video clip for you as well. Second news story is also about demonstration, viewers. Protest against Ethiopian PM Abiy was held in Israel. We have some pictures for you. In a previous video, I shared details of protests in support of Fano in the US, in Europe in coming days, and it seems that the protests have started. PM Abiy is the target of these protests. Thirdly, viewers, an Ethiopian journalist based in North America today donated 1.2 million Ethiopian birrs for the treatment of children with heart diseases. Fourthly, Ethiopian Council of Ministers has passed 2022-2023 budget, which has increase of 16.3% in comparison with last year's budget. Where will this increased amount be spent? And last, viewers, Eritrean Information Minister Yemane Gebre criticized the West, the US, a few hours ago. What did he say? We have one observation about the comments shared by Yemane Gebre. Firstly, viewers, first news story is from City Zone of the Somali region. We know that for more than a week now, clashes have been going on between Afars and Somalis. The clashes have been going on for years, but this new round of confrontation started more than a week ago. And we know that the two regions have been involved in clashes over border dispute. Regarding some kabiles like Adato, Garbese, and Undofo. And then we saw that these clashes, their impact was seen in Djibouti as well, where Afars were attacked. And Djibouti city mayor visited the places where Afar were attacked in Djibouti, Balbala. Now what we are seeing is that people in Somali region are not satisfied with the Somali regional government. City Zone is the one which shares border with Afar, and people are protesting there. They are chanting slogans against Mustafa Omar, Somali regional president. They say that the regional government has failed to protect Somalis against Afar attacks. Interestingly, 2 days ago, City Zone administrator resigned, and some other City Zone officials, they also spoke against regional government of Mustafa Omar, that regional government was not protecting the people of City Zone. Today, after Friday prayer, people took to the streets. Yesterday, I said in a video that there could be protests, and you're seeing now that demonstrations have started in different parts of City Zone. Now, some Somali regional government officials, they say that Adam Farah is behind these protests. Who is Adam Farah? Adam Farah is newly elected vice chairman of Prosperity Party. A few weeks ago, Prosperity Party held a general assembly, and PM Abiy was elected as chairman of the party. Damake Mekonnen and Adam Farah were elected as vice chairman of the party. Adam Farah is from Siti zone, and Mustafa Omar's associates say that Adam Farah is behind these demonstrations and he wants to remove Mustafa Omar from power. It is being said by some officials on condition of anonymity. It's not that it's official position of Somali regional government. Now, people are chanting slogans against Mustafa Omar openly. We know that such protests were stopped by government forces in Jigjiga a few weeks ago. But in Siti zone, people are freely protesting. And we know that in 2018, Abdi Ile, former president of Somali region, was removed from power after Somali Barbarta youth started a protest movement. And Abdi Ile had to quit. And the protest back then started in Siti zone. So once again, the movement is starting from Siti zone, and opposition parties are backing these protests. Opposition parties mostly based outside Ethiopia, like newly formed Congress for Somali Cause, CSC, is backing, if it can, these protests. CSC has been trying to launch a movement against Mustafa Omar's government, but its leaders, all of them, are mostly based in Kenya, neighboring country. CSC leaders are sharing pictures, videos that there is start of movement against Mustafa Omar's government in Siti zone. Let's see what happens. But since these protests are related to afar Somali clashes, that's why I don't think that these demonstrations can turn into a large-scale movement against Mustafa Omar government. If Adam Farah is behind these demonstrations, then we could see these protests spread. Watch this clip from Siti where people can be seen protesting. Second news story is about protests as well. We know that global Fano campaign has been launched in North America, in Europe, in other parts of the world. Ethiopian diaspora community, especially Amhara diaspora community, will take out rallies, will organize demonstrations against the ongoing military campaign against Amhara Fano militia, against the arrests of journalists, arrests of activists in Ethiopia. And today on Friday, we saw first demonstration against Ethiopian PM Abiy. The protest was held in front of Ethiopian embassy in Tel Aviv, Israel. You can see some pictures on your screen. The pictures are from Tel Aviv, Israel. You can see PM Abiy's pictures as well. People chanted slogans against Ethiopian PM Abiy, both in English, in Amharic. They are criticizing PM Abiy. They say that PM Abiy is involved in genocide of Amharas, that Amharas in Valaga, in Oromia, and in Amhara region now, they are being killed, and government is part of this campaign, genocide campaign against Amharas. We could see such demonstrations in coming days in Europe, US as well. We'll update you. It seems it's the start of a diaspora movement against Ethiopian PM Abiy, mainly Amhara diaspora movement. But the rally was not a big rally. You can see that a few dozen participants were there. But we could see major demonstrations in the US. And today on Saturday, tomorrow on Saturday, we know that Balderas is due to protest in Washington, D.C. And for more than a week, Balderas has been trying to mobilize people, and the protest is against the ongoing operation against Fano in Amhara. So we could see some demonstration, major demonstration in Washington, D.C., led by Skandar Naga, who's still there in Washington. Well, let's see, will Amhara diaspora attend the call for protest made by Skandar Naga in Washington? That we'll update you about tomorrow. Third news story is about an Ethiopian journalist who is basically from Ethiopia, but she is now in North America. She has donated 1.2 million Ethiopian birrs for children with heart diseases. This is not the first time that this journalist has donated money for children with heart disease. Her name is Hivot Tadase, pro-Ethiopian government journalist, because we have seen her interview Anne Fitzgerald. I think she was seen with Harmila Ragavi as well. But this thing which she's doing, it's commendable. If she is donating money from her own pocket, or if she is raising money and then she is donating for children in Ethiopia with heart disease, it's commendable. It should be appreciated. Fourthly, viewers, Ethiopian Council of Ministers today passed the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget. 786.6 billion Ethiopian birr is the worth of this budget 2022-2023. Now this budget has increase of 16.9% in comparison with last year's budget. So budget is increasing. Question is, where will this increased amount be spent? So far, no details. The budget has been sent by the Council of Ministers to Ethiopian Parliament, which will approve the budget, where we could see debate as well. So once we have details available, then we'll talk about the budget and about the areas where the budget will be spent. This amount will be spent. Lastly, viewers, Yemane Gebremeskel, Eritrean Information Minister, once again a few hours ago spoke against Western powers. He said that some powers think that they have right to wage wars of aggression, direct or proxy wars, in far off places of the world, and at the same time they deny right of self-defense of others. I want to make one point about this remark made by Yemane Gebremeskel. What about Eritrea? Eritrea also waged some wars. Eritrea fought Djibouti. Eritrea fought Ethiopia. Eritrea was accused of backing Al-Shabaab in Somalia. Eritrea has a administration. And Eritrea has its presence in Sudan and South Sudan as well. So some experts say that Eritrea has been involved in waging wars in the region. Eritrea says US is involved in waging wars, proxy or direct, across the world. That depends upon the reach. US has more reach, obviously it will wage more wars, but Eritrea has also been accused of waging wars in this region. Tigray says that Eritrea is the source of instability in this region, and Eritrea says vice versa. So what needs to be respected is others' sovereignty. Eritrea should respect other countries' sovereignty as well if it is criticizing the West, the US, for their interventions abroad. We're not supporting US West interventions abroad. Yes, they have no right to intervene. But the country which is criticizing them, it has a track record of interventions in other countries too. Thank you for watching.